8 Venezuelan warships, 4 American destroyers, 247 Tomahawk missiles, program targeting coordinates, 140 sailors, both navies about to experience Caribbean naval engagement, reshaping regional power dynamics permanently. Diplomatic crisis became kinetic warfare when Venezuelan coastal defense fired first unexpectedly aggressively. American response immediate, overwhelming, devastating. Caribbean transformed combat zone instantly. Regional balance shattered completely. Opening strikes beginning now. Caribbean Sea, 87 miles north, Venezuelan coast. Venezuelan Navy deploys major surface action group unusual formation. Frigate Almirante Brión leading. Frigate General Sublet following. Missile corvettes Patrullero Naguata, Patrullero Yaguaracual, Patrullero Warao, Patrullero Tamanaco. 2 patrol boats, Petrel, Gavilan supporting. 8 warships total. 140 Venezuelan sailors manning stations. Largest Venezuelan naval deployment, 15 years. Not exercise. Combat positioning clearly. American destroyers USS Arleigh Burke, USS Porter, USS Carney, USS Ross responding immediately. 4 destroyers. 1,180 American sailors. Position 120 miles northeast intercept course. Crisis escalating hourly unavoidably. Diplomatic efforts exhausted completely. Military options activating necessarily. Tension built systematically, predictably, tragically. January 12th, Venezuelan government nationalizes American oil facilities, Maracaibo. Seizes assets worth $4.7 billion. Arrests 47 American workers, espionage charges, fabricated obviously. Companies Chevron, ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips operations terminated immediately. Equipment confiscated. Personnel detained. Diplomatic protests ignored completely. January 13th. American freezes Venezuelan government assets, United States. $8.2 billion frozen banks worldwide. Venezuelan officials sanctioned individually. Travel bans imposed. Financial pressure mounting. January 14th, United States imposes complete naval blockade. Venezuelan ports. Prevents oil exports totally. Economic pressure maximum intensity. 4 destroyers positioned key shipping lanes. Intercept attempts breaking blockade. Venezuelan economy depends oil exports 94% revenue. Blockade catastrophic economically immediately. January 15th. Venezuelan military placed highest alert status. Naval forces deploy defensive positions. Air Force scrambles continuous patrols. Rhetoric escalating dangerously. January 16th. Venezuelan patrol boats attempt breaking blockade desperately. Turn back after warning shots fired. Close call avoided temporarily. January 17th. Diplomatic efforts mediation fail completely. Both sides' positions hardened irreversibly. Venezuela demands blockade lifted immediately. America demands assets returned, personnel released. Deadlock absolute. January 18th, 11:47 p.m. Venezuelan coastal missile battery fires 6 C-802 anti-ship missiles. American destroyer USS Porter, without warning provocation. Battery commander claims authorization received command. Unclear probably. Decision made irrevocably. War started unavoidably. American response immediate, inevitable, overwhelming. Caribbean transformed permanently. Regional implications catastrophic, spreading. Everything escalates instantly, uncontrollably, catastrophically. American early warning detected launches immediately perfectly. ANS Spy-1D radar tracking missiles launch phase. 6 C-802 missiles inbound USS Porter, specifically targeted. Sea skimming profile 20 feet above water. Speed, Mach 0.9 subsonic. Range, approaching from 67 miles distance. SM-2 missiles launching defensive engagement. Electronic warfare systems jamming missile seekers. Close-in weapon systems ready final defense. Technology proven testing. Combat conditions different always. 6 missiles incoming simultaneously. Can intercept how many? Unknown until tested combat conditions. Testing happening now desperately, urgently. What's your prediction outcome? Type A for American defenses intercept all missiles. Type B for Porter takes hits damage severe. USS Porter Aegis system engages perfectly professionally. SM-2 missiles destroy 4 C-802s successfully. Electronic countermeasures defeat 1 missile seeker guidance. Missile flies past harmlessly, splashes ocean. Final missile penetrates defenses completely. Failing CIWS engages desperately. 20mm round streaming sky. Hits scored confirmed. Missile damage partially, not destroyed completely. C-802 impacts Porter starboard side waterline. 165-kilogram warhead detonates penetrating hull. Explosion tears compartments below waterline. Flooding immediate uncontrolled spreading. 12 American sailors killed instantly explosion blast. 23 wounded severely shrapnel fire. Porter lists 8 degrees starboard taking water. Damage control teams responding professionally. Pumps activated. Compartments sealed. Ship stays afloat, damaged significantly. Combat capability reduced 40% immediately. Porter withdraws formation requiring assistance. First blood drawn. Venezuelan missile successful partially. American destroyer damaged operationally. Caribbean naval warfare proven deadly serious immediately. If you want understanding modern naval warfare missile era, subscribe now, immediately. American retaliation authorized instantly comprehensively. At 11:54 p.m., 7 minutes after Porter hit, destroyers fire. USS Arleigh Burke launches 32 Tomahawks. USS Carney launches 28 Tomahawks. USS Ross launches 24 Tomahawks. Total, 84 cruise missiles, first salvo targeting Venezuelan warships, coastal installations, command centers simultaneously. Flight time, 42:58 minutes, subsonic cruise. Venezuelan forces detected launches, prepare defenses desperately. Cannot stop saturation attack, overwhelming completely. Technology gap decisive absolutely. American cruise missile inventory massive. Venezuelan air defense limited severely. Asymmetric engagement favoring Americans decisively permanently. Surface warfare beginning catastrophically. Venezuelan Navy facing. Venezuelan frigate Almirante Brión radar tracks incoming cruise missiles 11:59 p.m. AN SPS-55 surface search radar adequate detecting. Fire control limited capability. Otobreda 76mm gun engages closest missiles desperately. Hits scored 2 missiles destroyed impressively. Venezuelan crew trained competent professional. Technology insufficient stopping saturation. 8 Tomahawks survived targeting Brión specifically. Impact 12:36 a.m. First missile hits bridge structure, collapsing completely. Command capability eliminated instantly. Second missile penetrates hull magazine area. Explosion catastrophic, devastating. Frigate breaks apart, sinking rapidly. 234 Venezuelan sailors killed instantly tragically. 89 survivors rescued water later. Almirante Brión destroyed completely opening minutes. Venezuelan Navy flagship eliminated. Command structure shattered. Morale devastating blow immediate. Venezuelan frigate General Sublet attempts defensive maneuvers, evasive actions. Captain experienced competent trying. Modern frigate capable 28 knots speed. Turning hard, maneuvering desperately. Electronic countermeasures activated, disrupting some missile seekers. 6 Tomahawks allocated targeting Sublet. Evasive actions defeat 1 missile guidance, loses track. 5 missiles remain incoming relentlessly. Impact 12:38 a.m. 3 hits center mass, catastrophic. Sublet explodes ammunition cooking off secondary. Sinks 4 minutes rapidly completely. 198 sailors killed. 45 survivors recovered. 2 Venezuelan frigates destroyed within minutes each other. Major surface combatants eliminated. Venezuelan Navy combat power reduced 60% immediately catastrophically. Missile corvette Patrulero, Naguata, smaller, faster, more agile, attempting survival desperately. Captain orders maximum speed 32 knots running coastline protection. 4 Tomahawks pursuing relentlessly. Corvette point defense limited capability. 30mm guns engaging continuously desperately. Crew fighting professionally, courageously, futilely. 2 missiles destroyed defensive fire commendably. 2 missiles hit corvette 12:41 a.m. Small vessel 500 tons displacement. Cannot absorb damage. Breaks apart immediately sinking. 67 sailors killed. 23 survivors. Petrolero Yaguaracual attempts similar escape tactics. Same result ultimately. 3 Tomahawk hits. Corvette destroyed, 72 killed, 19 survivors. Venezuelan missile corvettes eliminated systematically, professionally, ruthlessly. What would you have done commanding Venezuelan forces? Type A for fight defending positions. Type B for scatter dispersed survival. American submarines engaged simultaneously supporting surface strikes. USS Virginia-class submarine positioned 40 miles offshore Venezuelan coast, undetected completely. Advanced sonar systems tracking multiple targets. Commander receives targeting authorization 12:38 a.m. Priorities assigned Venezuelan patrol boats attempting coastal escape. Mark 48 ADCAP torpedoes, ready tubes flooded. Sonar tracking Venezuelan patrol boat, Petrol, attempting coastal run escape desperate. Target speed 24 knots heading southeast coastline protection hoping. Submarine maintains position quietly deadly. Firing solution calculated perfectly. Torpedo fired 12:44 a.m. Wire guided 55 knots speed, 650 pounds high, explosive warhead. Petrol crew unaware threat approaching, underwater silent deadly. Active sonar would reveal submarine position. Passive tracking, sufficient target, noisy cavitation, clear. Torpedo runs true wire guidance corrections minimal. Venezuelan lookouts see nothing threat invisible underwater approaching. Impact 12:47 a.m. Torpedo detonates beneath keel, breaking back structural failure, catastrophic. Patrol boat sinks rapidly, completely stern first bow lifting. 34 sailors killed instantly, compartments flooding. 8 survivors cling debris, rescued later Venezuelan coastal patrol. Second patrol boat Gavilan detected 12:51 a.m. Different bearings, similar fate assigned. Torpedo fired 12:53 a.m. Impact 12:56 a.m. Patrol boat destroyed sinking, 38 killed, 5 survivors. Submarine warfare asymmetric advantage. American decisively permanently. Venezuelan anti-submarine capability minimal, outdated, insufficient. Sonar equipment 1980s technology. Helicopters limited range capability. Depth charges primitive, guidance lacking. Underwater domain controlled completely, Americans. Surface vessels vulnerable constantly everywhere. Unable defending effectively, submarines lurking undetected, deadly, patient, ruthless. Venezuelan coastal installations targeted simultaneously, comprehensively. Puerto Cabello Naval Base receives 18 Tomahawk hits, destroying pier facilities, fuel storage, ammunition bunkers, command centers systematically. Base rendered non-operational immediately. La Guaira Naval Station hit 14 missiles, similar devastation. Coastal radar installations eliminated 8 separate strikes. Command bunker Caracas penetrated 4 missiles, bunker buster warheads. Venezuelan military command structure degraded 65% opening hour. Communication capability reduced severely. Coordination impossible practically. Individual units fighting isolated, independently, desperately. American achieving overwhelming tactical advantage systematically, rapidly. Subscribe understanding how modern naval warfare technology dominance reshapes regional conflicts permanently. Venezuelan Air Force attempts response desperately, limited capability. 6 Su-30 Mk2 fighters scramble La Carlota Air Base, 12:52 a.m. Armed R-77 air-to-air missiles, KH-31 anti-ship missiles, anti-radiation variants. Pilots trained Russian, doctrine, competent professionals. Aircraft capable, dangerous when employed correctly. Flight Lead Major Rodriguez experienced 340 hours Su-30 combat training. Understands mission, dangerous, odds unfavorable. Orders received clear. Attack American destroyers, prevent further strikes Venezuelan Navy. Suicide mission, possibly, probably. Professional military follows orders regardless. Formation climbs 15,000 feet heading north, 380 knots speed. American F/A-18 Super Hornets launched USS George H.W. Bush carrier, operating 240 miles north Venezuelan coast. 8 Super Hornets intercept course Venezuelan fighters. CIG directing engagement personally. Technology advantage American significant clearly. APG-79 AESA radar superior. Russian N-01M bars radar considerably. Training advantage American decisive absolutely. Pilots average 520 hours flight time compared Venezuelan 280 hours. Numbers even temporarily situation favoring Americans heavily. Engagement: 1:28 a.m., 80 miles offshore international airspace technically. Super Hornets detect Venezuelan fighters, first 95 miles range radar advantage decisive. AIM 120D missiles launched beyond visual range 65 miles distance. 4 missiles Venezuelan formation, 6 aircraft. Venezuelan pilots receive radar warning late seconds response time only. Evasive maneuvers attempted hard-braking turns chaff deployed clouds. Electronic countermeasures activated jamming seekers partially. Professional response adequate training evident. Not sufficient against American technology training combination overwhelmingly superior. 2 AIM 120s hit targets direct kills. Su-30s explode mid-air debris falling ocean. Pilots eject successfully parachutes deploying. 2 missiles defeated electronic countermeasures chaff seduction successful occasionally possible. 4 Venezuelan fighters remain pressing attack desperately courageously. Launch R-77 missiles 45 miles range, hoping lucky shot possible. American Super Hornets evade easily missiles defeated electronically, kinematically. Second AIM 120 volley launched. 2 more Venezuelan Su-30s shot down rapidly professionally. Rodriguez aircraft hit wingman destroyed simultaneously. Both pilots eject survival uncertain ocean night conditions dangerous. 2 Venezuelan fighters survive retreat base. Damaged systems degraded. Mission failed completely. Losses catastrophic, unacceptable strategically. Venezuelan pilots eject 3 recovered Venezuelan Navy launches, rescue helicopters. 1 lost sea current, strong night search. Difficult, ultimately unsuccessful tragically. Air superiority established American decisively permanently. Venezuelan Air Force capability reduced further significantly. Cannot contest American naval air operations effectively anymore. Remaining aircraft grounded effectively blockade continuing unopposed. But Venezuelan forces demonstrate competence, determination, resistance continuing. Remaining corvettes Petrolero, Warao, and Petrolero, Tomahawk coordinate attack American destroyers desperately aggressively. Launch remaining C-802 missiles, total 8 missiles targeting USS Carney, USS Ross simultaneously. Coordinated saturation attempt professional tactical sound. American destroyers engage defensive systems perfectly. SM-2 missiles destroy 6 incoming. Electronic warfare defeats 1 seeker. Final missile approaches USS Ross close. Phalanx engages hits missile damages. Not destroyed completely. Missile impacts Ross stern area, glancing blow. Warhead detonates partially. Damage moderate contain. 4 American sailors wounded, 0 killed. Ross remains operational combat effective. Venezuelan attack coordinated professional. American defense is superior ultimately. Technology gap decisive repeatedly demonstrated. American destroyers counterfire immediately overwhelming response. 16 Harpoon anti-ship missiles launched targeting 2 Venezuelan corvettes. Warao and Tomahawk attempt evasive actions, point defense. Outgunned completely overwhelmed rapidly. Warao takes 5 Harpoon hits, disintegrates completely. 89 sailors killed. 12 survivors. Tomahawk hit 4 missiles, similar fate. 76 killed. 15 survivors. Venezuelan missile corvette force eliminated completely. Surface combatant capability destroyed entirely. Remaining patrol boats withdraw coastline, desperately seeking survival. Naval engagement decided decisively. American victory clear costly both sides. Do you think Venezuelan resistance brave futile? Type A respecting professional military performance. Type B questioning tactical decisions made. Comment perspective below. Casualty assessment sobering both sides reality, modern naval combat. American losses. USS Porter damaged requiring repairs months. 12 sailors killed. 27 wounded total including Ross casualties. 1 FA-18 damaged landing gear issue unrelated combat. Venezuelan losses catastrophic comparatively. 6 major warships destroyed sunk. 2 corvettes surviving, damaged retreating. Approximately 840 sailors killed. 240 wounded rescued. 4 Su-30 fighters destroyed. Naval combat capability reduced 85% immediately. American achieved objectives decisively. Venezuelan demonstrated professional resistance, inadequate technology ultimately. Modern naval warfare favors technological superior force overwhelmingly. Numbers matter, training matters. Technology matters most decisively demonstrated. Regional implications, immediate significant lasting. Colombia closes airspace Venezuelan military aircraft. Brazil enhances border security concerns spillover. Cuba condemns American aggression verbally only. No military assistance provided. China issues diplomatic protests symbolic meaningless. Russia condemns actions, provides no material support. Venezuelan diplomatically isolated, militarily defeated opening engagement. Regional balance shifted decisively American favor. Caribbean naval dominance. American established absolutely. Oil exports Venezuela, halted completely, blockade effective total. Economic pressure mounting desperately. Government stability questioned internally. Military defeat undermines regime legitimacy significantly. Regional states observe outcomes nervously. American military power demonstrated conclusively. Deterrent effects significant, lasting permanently. International response divided predictably. United Nations Security Council deadlock debate. United States vetoes ceasefire resolution. Justified self-defense, Porter attacked first. Venezuela claims American provocation, blockade illegal. Truth complex, both sides contributing escalation. International law, ambiguous situations like. Power determines outcomes ultimately. American power demonstrated naval engagement decisively. Legal arguments, secondary military realities. Economic sanctions intensify Venezuela globally. Humanitarian concerns mounting rapidly. Civilian population suffering blockade effects. Food shortages developing. Medicine scarce. Power outages increasing. War costs civilians always disproportionately heavily. International community concerned ineffective preventing practically. Diplomatic efforts continuing achieving nothing substantial. Military situation driving political outcomes unavoidably. Historical significance already apparent. Caribbean region. Largest naval engagement Caribbean since Cold War era. First major American naval combat operation, Western Hemisphere decades. Venezuelan Navy effectively destroyed single-night engagement. Cruise missile effectiveness demonstrated clearly. Modern naval warfare lethality confirmed tragically. Small Navy fighting larger force outcome predictable, inevitable. Technology gap insurmountable demonstrated repeatedly. Professional Venezuelan performance noted respected ultimately insufficient. American naval doctrine validated combat conditions. Carrier-based air power decisive supporting surface operations. Submarine warfare asymmetric advantage exploited fully. Regional power dynamics transformed permanently instantly. American naval dominance, Caribbean absolute unquestioned established. Historical precedent set future regional conflicts. Technology determines outcomes decisively. Numbers secondary ultimately. Training matters significantly. Geography matters tactically. Everything demonstrated first-night engagement catastrophically definitively. If you've watched this far, appreciate realistic military analysis, subscribe, share, comment, engage. Tactical lessons, both sides learning, adapting. Venezuelan military recognizes technology gap, fatal, impossible, overcoming current resources, asymmetric tactics, necessary future resistance, coastal defense mobile, dispersed, harder targeting, naval concentration, suicidal, demonstrated clearly, air defense improvements, critical, urgent, needed, but resources limited, sanctions increasing, rebuilding impossible, economically, practically, military defeat, comprehensive, permanent, likely. American military validates doctrine, technology, training combination. Cruise missile saturation, effective, proven. Aegis defense capable, not perfect, demonstrated. Casualties acceptable strategically, if not morally, humanly. Regional operations executed professionally, successfully. Objectives achieved decisively, rapidly. Doctrine requires minimal adjustment, proven effective. Training standards maintained, elevated further. Technology investment justified, validated combat. Future conflicts, similar enemies, expected outcomes comparable. Deterrent effect, regional, global, significant, lasting. Venezuelan government faces impossible situation domestically internationally. Military defeated comprehensively. Economy collapsing blockade total. Population suffering increasing desperately. International support absent meaningless. Regime stability questioned openly internally. Opposition emboldened defeat visible. Military loyalty uncertain casualties mounting. Government options limited decreasing daily. Negotiation necessary survival. Terms unfavorable, certain inevitable. Sovereignty compromised permanently. Resources surrendered completely. Leadership changes demanded probably. Venezuelan crisis entering new phase politically. Military phase concluded decisively. Political phase beginning uncertainly. Outcomes unpredictable, dangerous potentially. Population will determine ultimately. Suffering continues regardless. War costs, measured lives, destroyed futures, shattered hopes, demolished. Victory meaningless, suffering caused. Defeat certain consequences facing. Caribbean transformed permanently, conflict unnecessary, probably avoidable maybe, but occurred regardless tragically. Long-term naval warfare implications, Caribbean region profound. Small navies obsolete against technological superior opponents demonstrated. Surface combatants, vulnerable cruise missiles overwhelmingly. Air defense, insufficient saturation attacks repeatedly. Submarine warfare advantage, technological powers exclusively. Coastal defense requires different approaches, mobile dispersed, adaptive. Traditional naval warfare concepts, obsolete proven. Technology evolution accelerating continuously. Regional navies reconsidering force structures urgently. Investment priorities shifting necessarily. Traditional platforms questioned fundamentally. Asymmetric capabilities emphasized increasingly. American naval dominance, absolute Caribbean, established permanently. Regional states accept reality, adapt accordingly. Naval arms race pointless economically, prohibitively. Diplomatic engagement, necessary survival regionally. Military confrontation, American forces suicide demonstrated. Lessons learned tragically expensively, Venezuelan blood. Regional order transformed American terms exclusively. Caribbean American lake, militarily, absolutely. Economic dominance follows military power inevitably. Political influence derives both combined. Regional states understand completely. Adaptation necessary survival. Resistance futile demonstrated. Caribbean future determined American decisions exclusively. Regional autonomy diminished permanently. New reality accepted, adapted, lived, reluctantly, necessarily, permanently. Thanks for watching Realistic Analysis Modern Naval Combat. Share video anyone interested understanding actual warfare, not propaganda. Comment your tactical assessment, Venezuelan American decisions made. Subscribe coverage treating seriously, acknowledging complexity, respecting professional military performance, both sides regardless political positions. This is Navy Force USA, where we analyze, honestly acknowledge reality, respect competence, explain outcomes truthfully. Next time you see headlines, naval confrontations, remember this breakdown. What actually happens when modern navies clash, technologically mismatched, professionally fought, tragically concluded. Stay informed, realistic analysis, not fantasy, not propaganda, reality.